As reported, recently, Ukrainian troops liberated the village of Kucheriv Yar in the Pokrovsk sector of the Donetsk region, which had been under Russian occupation since mid-August. The defenders captured approximately 50 Russians, and the Ukrainian flank is already established in the village. Their number of Russian prisoners increases. This victory is not only crucial for control of the region around Dobropillia, but also highlights the fundamental weakness of Russia's current offensive strategy, according to a Forbes article. It is becoming increasingly difficult for the Russians to hold onto the captured territories. The publication noted that Ukraine's defensive lines stretch for approximately 1,000 kilometers, and due to limited human and material resources, it is necessary to focus on defending certain sections of the front. The enemy sometimes manages to break through fortified areas due to regular Russian attacks. However, Russia's successes over the past year have been minimal, the publication emphasized. One of the main reasons is that Ukraine has significantly increased the production of FPV drones and fiber-optic drones with new technologies. The article claims that Ukrainian drones have created kill zones in front of the defense forces' lines, where they are holding back Russian troops. Upon detecting an enemy, the drones either engage in direct combat or transmit target coordinates to artillery units. These kill zones have proven their ability to stop armored vehicles and large military formations. This tactic proved highly effective against mechanized enemy assaults. However, it is less effective against small groups of soldiers. The publication explained that Russian infantry groups or occupiers on motorcycles or quad bikes are more difficult for drones to detect and target. Hitting such targets also requires a large number of drones, as they are dispersed. This led to the Russians conducting many assault attempts during the summer offensive using small groups of soldiers. Such attacks achieved limited success, but at the cost of extremely high casualties. The publication emphasized that Russia has long relied on the tactic of wearing down Ukrainian troops. As part of this strategy, the occupiers sacrificed large numbers of soldiers to create gaps in Ukraine's defenses. However, this tactic has recently proven ineffective. The publication believes that this approach could work if the Russians were able to consolidate their positions. However, they remain behind the kill zones that remain in effect after the attacks. Furthermore, once Ukrainian forces determine where the Russians are attacking, they can concentrate drones to strike reinforcements and supply lines entering the area, the publication explained. As a result, Russian units remain confined to small, isolated areas. The publication believes that regaining control of Kucheriv Yar is only the beginning. Ukraine will likely achieve even greater success on the front in the near future.
Dutch Labour Party leader Frans Timmermans cast his ballot Wednesday in tense snap elections in the Netherlands. According to Associated Press, the election was called after anti-Islam lawmaker Geert Wilders brought down the last four-party coalition in a dispute over a crackdown on immigration. The campaign focused on migration, a housing crisis, and whether parties will work with Wilders in a new coalition if his Party for Freedom repeats its stunning victory from 2 years ago. The vote comes against a backdrop of deep polarization in this nation of 18 million and violence at a recent anti-immigration rally in The Hague and at protests across the country against new asylum seeker centers. Polls suggest that Wilders' party, which is calling for a total halt to asylum seekers entering the Netherlands, remains on track to win the largest number of seats in the 150-seat House of Representatives. But other more moderate parties are closing the gap, and pollsters caution that many people wait until the very last minute to decide who to vote for. Polls close at 9 p.m. and broadcasters publish an initial exit poll immediately followed by an update a half hour later. The Dutch system of proportional representation all but guarantees that no single party can win a majority. Negotiations will likely begin Thursday into the makeup of the next governing coalition. Mainstream parties have already ruled out working with Wilders, arguing that his decision to torpedo the outgoing four-party coalition earlier this year in a dispute over a crackdown on migration underscored that he is an untrustworthy coalition partner. Timmermans, the former European Commission vice president who now leads the center-left bloc of the Labour Party and Green Left, took aim at Wilders in the final debate, saying he is looking forward to the day, and that day is tomorrow, that we can put an end to the Wilders era.
Ja, maar dat is toch wel een mooi moment. Ja, dat is in orde. Bedankt. Ja. Allee dan. Jo. Dat wordt het dan. Hop. Bedankt, fijne dag.
Mr. Wilders? Mr. Wilders? This way, please. This way.
Today. Well, we will see. It's up to the voters today. It's a close call to four or five different parties. So I'm confident, but we have to see how much the outcome will be. You know, my party is very.
Are you ready to negotiate?
Of course, we always are.
But if no one wants to work with you, it will be more difficult.
You know, the voters are in charge. The bigger we will become, the more easier that will be. But today it's voting day. Tomorrow it's politician day, so we will see. But I hope it will be a good outcome.
Wat gaat u vandaag meer doen?
Sorry?
Hoe gaat uw dag er vandaag uitzien?
Goedemorgen.
The main question is, I think, can we beat populism? What we have seen the last 2 years is a political landscape with right-wing populism, and the question is it possible to beat populism by decent politics? And I think that's the main question today.
Even een beetje aan deze kant of een beetje aan de kant af.